Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today, and we have a very special video. We're talking about something a lot of gamers have been anticipating, and that is the newest Red Dead game. And I'm joined by an expert on Rockstar itself.
It's true. It's true. I've played every single Rockstar game, with the exception of some of the really early ones. Really early. But yes, I'm an expert. And they're like, oh, you're not, you know shit.
But anyway, we're talking about this Red Dead reveal because apparently a new game has been teased. This is due to the fact that Rockstar Games has changed their social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even their own website with a new logo that is akin to the color scheme of a Red Dead game, which has been speculated, rumored, and anticipated for quite a long while. So the internet is blowing up.
Yep.
And let's tackle the first thing is that some people are like, it's just a logo change. Don't fall for it. What are you interpreting this as?
So I saw it, and I'm a little on the fence. I think because it is red in the main back and it's black, the logo itself is black. I think it is definitely a tease to a new Red Dead. I was a little disappointed though when you texted me this morning and you were like, "Did you hear?" And like I was like, "What?" And you're like, "A new Red Dead was leaked." And I was like, "What? Send me." And it was just the logo, and I was like, "Oh." Now I believe that it's a tease, I definitely do. But I was hoping for a little something more. You know what I mean? I was like maybe a screenshot or maybe like an official like reveal or something. But it's definitely, I think it is definitely a positive tease to the game.
Yeah, I think they are fully aware of what they're doing. They know the anticipation for their games and just how popular they are. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a new Red Dead game. It's almost a guarantee. Yeah. But they're also taking a similar approach to what I think a lot of reviewers would be familiar with is a Fallout 4 approach. They did a similar thing where #please stand by. A lot of people, if you don't remember, were like, oh, it's probably just a Fallout 3 remake. It might just be like an overhaul of the original Fallout. And most of us were saying they're like, come on, it's Fallout 4. So I think we have a similar situation here. And it makes you wonder, though. We don't have any idea when a trailer is coming. So we're going to be talking about what we want to see in this video and also what we know so far. But when do you think we're going to be seeing a trailer if this is
I think Rockstar, maybe, learned is the wrong word, but I think they kind of, for lack of a better word, learned from GTA 5 in that they didn't want to tease the game 3 years early. You know what I mean? Yes, so I think what they're doing is like, they may be teasing it and we may see it within the next year. I think within the next year.
Oh, you think it's going to be that? You think it's be that far around?
Well, I'm not, what do you mean? Like I'm saying it's far away?
Yeah, like I was thinking they waited so long because they're gonna just release it this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think within the next year. Okay. So at least spring, maybe summer. It may be the next holiday season. So like they may aim for next November. And I could be wrong. It may release in the next like 4 months. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. I mean, none of us know how far along it is. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, I do think it's definitely a positive sign of a new Red Dead.
Yeah, for me, I'm feeling. It just based on the way they've held back on this game for so long, despite its anticipation, and how the games industry has been trending, where they've been announcing and releasing in a shorter span of time. I feel like it'll be next spring. They imagine it was like.
Oh my god, I would shit my. Well, like that's what happened with Fallout 4. Is like when they talked about it, they're like, yeah, this is coming out in like 3 months, 4 months, and I was like, what?
Yeah, and we were like, okay, I'm not ready for this. So. I wonder if Rockstar's really going to blow people's socks off that way and really surprise them.
I would shit my pants. Let me tell you, that's a game. Now, here's my dilemma with this, is if it comes out, I really hope they do cross over for maybe a PC release, because I don't have a new console.
Yeah.
No,
so I agree.
I would love to see a PC release, because they nailed it with GTA 5. I mean, it was a little buggy at first, but now it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean?
It just took them a while to get it to PC. So hopefully with the popularity of Rockstar, they know that there's a lot of PC players out there, and they did a great job supporting the PC version. I'm hoping that this time around it releases on all platforms at the same time. Enough with these PC port delays.
And again, I think GTA 5 was a learning experience with how they released stuff regarding netcode and servers and stuff like that. Even with the multiplayer and the support for the game itself, I think they learned a lot with that.
Yeah, I agree. So we feel that a new Red Dead has been revealed, but apparently this is supposed to happen this year at E3 during the PlayStation press conference. but Rockstar had held back due to a scene involving a bar shooting in the trailer, which could have possibly closely reflected a real-life event that took place around the same time. Now, the reason this is supported is because, I don't know if you saw the PlayStation press conference, but they revealed this one game. I forgot exactly what it was called, but it was an interesting-looking game. They did a quick trailer. It piqued everyone's curiosity. They're like, all right, that looks cool. Then at the end of the show, they looped back around out of nowhere to this game and showed extended gameplay,
which
is
means they're
fine,
trying to fill time for lost time.
Yeah, and it was the final game too. Usually you end on that big note, but they redid a game that they already had talked about, so a lot of people were confused. And when this came out from a lot of journalists were supporting, like, we all were expecting Red Dead. Apparently that's what a lot of developers were saying, and that ended up obviously never happening. And so then people were saying they were holding off because Take-Two owns both, Mafia, GTA, and all that stuff. They were waiting until Mafia was out of the way, and that's why they held back on review copies.
That's an interesting concept. That makes sense. You know what I mean? That really does line up. I mean, you look at these press conferences, and for those of you who don't know, a lot of you probably do, but I'm talking to some of the younger crowd here. They line this stuff up every minute. I mean, they have like 29 minutes to say all they can. You know what I mean? And it does not go a minute over, So it's like when something cancels out, they got to find something to fill those slots. They can't shorten it.
I've personally never seen a press conference that reveals a game in the middle and then goes back to it at the end, when it was just kind of like a game that obviously wasn't going to generate this crazy hype. It looked great, don't get me wrong, but it looked good for what it was, but it wasn't like
anything groundbreaking.
Oh, when I saw the trailer, I was like, I got to see this again, So that's why a lot of people were like, okay, they pulled a punch here for some reason. When those reports came out, it made sense. As for actual news on the upcoming Red Dead game, which a lot of people are actually stuck on the name, whether it's a Red Dead Redemption 2 or some, I've heard like a Red Dead Rebellion, and then I've heard Red Dead 3. So there's so many different ways to title this game, So anyway, apparently a map for the new Red Dead game has already been leaked. And this has been news for a while, but we wanted to recap it anyway, because like I said, we're going over what we know so far. And the map suggests that this new Red Dead game will actually be a prequel, and this is due to the missing railroads on the map, especially considering you can see the Great Plains where Blackwater was in Red Dead Redemption in the previous entry. So that one is actually very interesting. I don't see them doing a prequel.
I don't either. It's not really Rockstar's style. Now, that doesn't mean they won't do it. Also, something on the map, I don't want to say don't believe it, but if I remember correctly, there was a leaked map for GTA 5, and I think it was it wasn't even close. So again, take a lot of the leaked stuff regarding maps and store, take that with a grain of salt. And I'm not telling you this, Matt, I'm telling our listeners, take it with a grain of salt. One of the things with this map that I'm looking at here, the leaked map, is it's very oblong, meaning a lot of the districts and a lot of the kind of parts of it are very narrow, and I find that a little hard to believe.
Especially with how open.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first one, and the first one was basically the shape of a square or a rectangle, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just how it plays. You look at GTA 5 too. It's a very similar thing. It's you can fit it in a rectangle. This is very circular. It's very narrow in different areas. There's a body of water in the middle of it, which isn't unbelievable. That could very well be there. And this could be the map. I don't know. There's a lot of islands too.
But then again, you gotta think it's got to be wherever the first one was set, because it's the Great Plains. So, but the other sketchy detail on this map is the fact that there is a new Bordeaux on the bottom right corner of the map, which is where Mafia 3 is set, which oddly invalidates this map to some degree. But also, I mean, it's a weird crossover, especially from a company that has both.
Right, and I find it hard to believe that they would do a crossover with that, but they may. I mean, for those who maybe aren't getting this, if it has a new Bordeaux in it, it means that they take place in the same universe, which is something I don't believe that much, because if they were going to do a crossover, they would do a GTA crossover. And I say this because when you look at GTA 5, when you look at back on creating your GTA Online character, you can make your father the guy from Red Dead, I can't remember his name, John Marston. You could make your father John Marston when you make your character. and that means that if they did a crossover, it would most likely be a GTA crossover. Again, all of this could be 100% true, this map, and all of it could be completely wrong. So we're just kind of speculating here, but it, it's interesting, and I love to read some of the thoughts from people in the comments and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to gather up whatever rumors and apparent leaks there are and just discuss on them very
Yeah.
briefly. Another piece of interesting news is that Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick previously referred to Red Dead as a permanent franchise. Now, this was in 2014, so this is a while before now. And I guess the reason I wanted to mention this is because, like I said, there was a lot of people out there who are skeptical, who are like, this is just a logo overhaul. But Rockstar does consider Red Dead not just a one-off. Like, everyone loved Red Dead Redemption. They obviously want to continue the Red Dead series, is what I'm getting from this. Another good example is they did this with BioShock. They said BioShock's a permanent franchise, and then after that they did BioShock the Collection, and that's obviously in preparation for a new BioShock game down the line. So permanent franchise means, we're going to do another at some point. That's the solid interpretation of that statement there.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, it'd be silly not to, though, because it was arguably the most loved Rockstar game aside from GTA.
Well, here's one of the things about GTA and Rockstar specifically. These games take years to make, and you know this, but I'm just saying this, you know, for some of the younger crowd who may not know this. These games take a stupid amount of time to make. Like, I mean, I think GTA 5 took like 6 years to make. You know, so I mean, Red Dead 2 could have started development like a year after Red Dead Redemption came out. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think they were thinking about sales figures. I think they were like, let's just fucking continue this. You know what I mean? Rockstar's a funky company when it comes to stuff like that. They do not follow normal game rules. They're just like, they don't. You know, they make enough money and they're like, we're gonna just do this, you know, and that's one of the reasons I love them. That is one of the reasons, truly, they are one of my favorite developers. You know, Bethesda's up there, but Rockstar, you know, it's definitely one of my top 5.
Yeah. Because, you know, they just, like we were saying, they do what they want because everything they do is so well
it's like, I trust whatever they want to do, you know.
Yeah, so they're just like, they hold the cards and they'll just do what they want, and we take what we can get. We're fortunate, though, I guess, for many other Red Dead fans, is that they decide to continue these series instead of just constantly making new ones.
And they don't do what they don't do an Assassin's Creed style. They're not like, let's do another one in a year. You know, they're like, no, this is gonna be a 10 out of 10, and they do it. You know, it comes out and it's 9.5, 9.6 out of 10. You know what I mean? And it's what it is, and that's what's fantastic about them.
It's impressive.
You know.
Yeah, but we were talking about GTA 5 a little bit, maybe some inspirations that could come from there into the Red Dead universe, and one of them was that the newest Red Dead will likely have a huge multiplayer focus, similar to a GTA Online. Now, this speculation can be supported by a tweet from Daniel Ahmad, who showed net revenues from GTA products in the last year, revealing that over $700 million has been made. Now, I know this is in the last year. If Rockstar was deciding to make a Red Dead 2, that decision was made a while ago. This is just something that can support that evidence that this is another Red Dead game that will have multiplayer, mind you, because the multiplayer is what kept the fans hooked and why so much money has been spent on this game. In fact, I'm pretty sure I remember reading something on how in August or May, it was one of those months that GTA 5 was like one of the best-selling games that month, which is fascinating because of how
and it's still on top page for selling on Steam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's insane. So on top of that, while we're talking about GTA Online and how that can tie into a Red Dead game, there has been a lot of job listings suggesting a multiplayer focus for Rockstar Games based off a game tester position who needs to, quote, assist with the needs for a multiplayer functionality, as well as a network programmer whose job is to, quote, incorporate gameplay into all areas, or multiplayer rather, into all areas of the game. So they're definitely going to be taking a multiplayer approach, which doesn't surprise us. Red Dead Redemption had a multiplayer mechanic. It's just that I think with the success and the legs, more importantly, of GTA 5, that doing this in Red Dead is almost
and I think that's a big thing on it. Red Dead, the original Red Dead's multiplayer was fun. It was pretty basic. If anyone who had played GTA 4's multiplayer remembers, it was basically the same thing. You know, you free roamed. It wasn't like a simulator. You know, you didn't have like a life simulator, if that makes any sense. It was just you had fun with it. Whereas GTA 5, it's much more in depth. So I think, like you had said, it's not going to be surprising if we see something similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, what I have to say about this though is, I wonder if this might take away from what Red Dead, what made that special, because a lot of people remember Red Dead Redemption fondly because of its story. Not that Rockstar can't balance a multiplayer mechanic and a story. And I like GTA 5's story, but you wonder if this development on multiplayer takes away from the single player vision. And with a game that I know for a fact, not no one, but most people, when they think back, oh, the good times of Red Dead Redemption, they're thinking of crazy stuff they did in single player and obviously the ending. So for me, I look at that and I think, will this multiplayer focus of testing these new features and trying to put multiplayer in all areas of the game? I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm not saying I don't want it, because GTA Online is a lot of fun. I'm just saying, will it take away from what I think made Red Dead Redemption such a well-loved game?
I think I don't think it'll take away from it. Red Dead, they have the teams that deal with the stories and the single player stuff. They're their own thing, and they're goddamn good at their jobs. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a solid game, both on story and multiplayer front. That's my opinion. Again, I'd love to see what people say in the comments and stuff like that, but hopefully it won't.
So far, that's all the rumors and news that we have on Red Dead 2. I'm imagining that if this game's coming out this spring, like a lot of people are speculating, or rather next spring, I apologize, then we're going to be seeing a trailer within the next month. But, I mean, this picture's going to market itself for a while. They don't really need to do anything for a little bit. But they also know the anticipation's as high as it's
and they're gonna have fun with that, you know.
So I wonder if they're gonna tease some images, or if they're just gonna go hard with the trailer. It's gonna be really interesting to see how Rockstar approaches this, because they put out a logo and it got 50,000.
And we're making a video about it, you know. So it's like,
and we're making a almost 20-minute video about how this could be Red Dead 2. So obviously, people are excited, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you guys are stoked, if you're excited for a multiplayer mechanic, if you think any of these leaks are true. I'll have all my sources that I got all this information from linked in the description down below if you guys want to research it yourself, read what other news sites have to say about it, because I know when you get excited about a game, you just got to read every damn thing on it.
I think that's it for now. Like I said, I'm super stoked if it is what it is, you know. I'm going to play the shit out of it like I do every other Rockstar game, so, you know.
True. Yeah, but as always, guys, we hope you stay tuned for more discussions like this on Red Dead 2 as time goes on, because we'll be keeping up on this. You're the Rockstar guy. I like Rockstar games, so I think it'd be a good fit. So we hope you guys stay tuned for more down the line. Enjoyed this video, as I said earlier, to leave your feedback in the comments down below on all of this stuff, and hope you guys have a great day.